Have you ever watched the news and seen a report about an accident or anything to do with aviation and wondered if all the things the reporter was saying was really true? Well, they probably weren't, and in this video, we're going to bust some of the common misconceptions that the general public has about aviation. That video is coming up right now. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name's Luke. I'm a 16, almost 17-year-old pilot, and on this channel I document my journey from student to professional pilot and share my aviation experiences with you. In the weeks leading up to my check ride, I have produced this series of kind of sit-down videos that discuss just some of the topics that have been on my mind that I've wanted to make videos on because I just was interested in the topic. Today, we're talking about misconceptions the general public has about aviation, and it's nobody's fault. There's no reason that a news reporter should know that there's no such thing as a tarmac. So without further ado, let's hop right into it, and we are going to start off with the tarmac. The tarmac is this term that's thrown around all the time. But you see, the tarmac really doesn't exist. On a chart that a pilot uses to navigate an airport, there's no such thing as a tarmac on the airport. We refer to paved areas on the airport as ramps, taxiways, and runways. There's no place that we take off called the tarmac. We don't taxi on the tarmac, and we don't park on it. We would call that the ramp, we would taxi on a taxiway, and we take off on the runway. Something else that people tend to believe about flying is that flying on an airplane is super dangerous, and this leads to a lot of nervous passengers. I'm planning on making an entire separate video on nervous flyers so that hopefully I can help you guys and show you that it really is super safe. If you talk to any pilot, they're most likely going to tell you that you're more likely to get hurt in a car crash on the way to the airport than actually on the flight. And that is statistically proven. If you want to fact check me, you could just search up flight safety statistics. Just a small statistic about airline flying is there hasn't been a fatal US aircraft accident since 9/11. And don't quote me on that, but I'm 99.9% sure. Again, if you want to check it out, there's some super cool articles that you could learn all about aviation safety. Another common misconception is that the airplane flies itself and the pilots do nothing. They just sit back and press buttons. And while they may sit back and press buttons, those buttons they're pushing are very important. And the airplanes don't do what they do unless a pilot tells them to do it. So they're not just clicking a start button and the airplane's running through its pre-departure checklists and taking off and climbing out and flying to its destination and changing altitudes due to icing and changing vectors for traffic all on its own. It's doing that because the pilot is telling it to do that. We're not at a stage of AI. The planes, they do have autopilots, and the autopilot, you're actually trained to turn the autopilot on right after takeoff. Some airplanes even take off on their own. But the airplane is nothing without the two humans in the cockpit, and they are the ones that make or break the flight and the safety of the flight. So saying that the airplane flies itself, well, yeah, the airplane does have an autopilot, which does fly itself, but if the pilots took their hands off the controls and let the airplane do their own thing, the result wouldn't be so good. So there are 3 common misconceptions that the public has about aviation. If you have more, feel free to drop it down in the comment section. I'm going to go keep studying for my private pilot test. Wish me luck, and until next week, I want you to stay current, stay proficient, keep the blue side up, keep flying safe, everybody. We will see you in the next video. Take care.